Got it. Our amazing superstar director, Jacquelyn Roy, literally the sweetest human you will ever meet. She is all of our top tier of the company. We all fall under her. And she just is so full of amazing information. She's the best cheerleader ever, and she's always got such great ideas. So we brought her on here tonight to talk to us all. Hi, Jacquelyn.
Yay. Hi. I'm looking kind of rough. I just left my son's football practice and I rushed in and I had about 5 minutes. So you
We
guys
were all
get,
discussing our buns and our hot
oh,
mess hair
good.
today. So welcome to the Hot Mess Zoom Express.
Thank you. I feel like I fit right in. I say I look like a hot mess. I actually showered today, which doesn't happen every day. So I actually probably look better than most days. But so yeah, I'm excited. One of my best friends just found out she's having a boy. So she just texted me. So I was just watching that. And I've been giving her crap all like the last couple weeks because she kind of knew, but she didn't want to tell anyone. And so anyways, I got distracted for a minute, but yeah, thank you guys for having me on. This is so cool that you and Daniel and Daryl and Leslie do all this together. So 4 rock stars right there. So you guys are lucky to have them as your uplines. And so let's chat tonight. I want to leave this open to you at the end for questions, but I was chatting with Becky last week and just chit-chatting how things are different now. 2 years ago when COVID hit, our lives kind of hit this crazy tailspin where people online shopped. It was kind of easy to get sales, if I'm honest. It was kind of easier to get recruits, but we didn't have to go out of our houses and really work our businesses. And so what worked the last 2.5 years isn't working right now, and it won't work right now because the way I started my business isn't how I ran it the last 2.5 years. And so we were just chit chatting about what, ideas on how to grow post COVID and how to get sales again and how to really work this business. And some of you, I know I talked to Kara last week too for a little while, and she's so sweet. It was a great conversation. But people that, if some of you that are on, if you joined during the pandemic, all you know is how to work your business during COVID. And it's not necessarily, let me mute my phone real quick because the girls are blowing up my phone. But if all you know is how to work your business during COVID, and now you're like, oh my gosh, it's hard to get sales. It's hard to get recruits, that kind of thing. It's okay. That is normal right now. I found it very normal, but you can be the it that changes that. You can change that now. A lot of people, even me, I quit doing samples for about 2 years because, people didn't even want you breathing on them, much less getting a sample from you. So I paused making samples for a while. And that was something that I religiously did for 15 years, 14, however long before COVID, 13 years, religiously every month. I would hand out recruiting packets every month. I had the conversations, in-person conversations. And when COVID hit, I quit doing all of those things. And I know a lot of you guys did as well. I know some of you never even did to start with because of whenever you joined. So I wanted to chat. I know Becky said fundraisers and parties and things like that. So I want to transition to that and give you guys some really great tips and ideas, hopefully. But I wanted to start out with, if you want success now post COVID, you're going to have to completely change what you've been doing the last 2 years. Completely. Sales aren't going to come from one post online. Sales aren't going to probably come as easy as they have been if they've came easier for you. And if you don't change it, then your sales and your recruiting post COVID won't be great. But I'll say post pandemic won't be great. You have to put yourself out there. You have to, and I'm preaching because when me and Becky and Kara talked this last week, a lot of what I had to do personally was go back to retraining myself 50 samples a month, 10 recruiting conversations a month. And I started doing that a couple months ago, and I'm getting the recruits and I'm getting new customers, and it's working. And I think because I didn't do it for so long, I think because I stopped doing it for so long because of COVID, I didn't realize how important it was for me to jump back into those things until I've been doing it now. I want to say this is month 4. the samples I make for next month is month 4. So, guys, I am getting customers left and right. I'm getting parties left and right. And it is simply because I'm handing out samples left and right. And guess what? The number one thing I'm hearing on a weekly basis is, I'm so glad you sell. I don't know anyone that sells. Or, oh my goodness, the person I used to buy from doesn't do it anymore. I hear that on a weekly basis. So in my eyes, I'm like, okay, well, everyone either quit or because of COVID, they quit working their business in person and they haven't restarted. So by me being the person that restarts, I'm going to get all that business. And so I want you to be that person in your area. I mean, Kara talked about this for a while. I said, Kara, like, you have to. She's like, yes, my husband used to hand out samples for me. I said, get back to that. Start today, start this week, start this month, because you will be the person in your area. I promise you, when you start doing it, and you're going, like, I want you to message me on Facebook the first time someone says, oh my gosh, I handed out a sample and they said, I don't know anyone that sells. Like, let me know, because it's going to happen week 1 when you start handing out samples again. So this is your time to shine post pandemic. This is your time. This is your time to take advantage of actually working your business, because people forgot how. I forgot how. I mean, I literally went from all these habits, all these basics, to nothing for 2 years. Now my business didn't sink. I still message people. I still sent them postcards. I still did XYZ. But as far as the getting new people and getting new parties, I mean, I didn't do a lot of that actively during COVID. It just came to me, and I know it came to some of you, but you have to retrain everything that you did for 2 years. You have to get back to the basics, get back to samples, be that person in your area. Oops, I don't know my computer. Be that person in your area that's working your business, because there's not very many people actively working their business. So a couple things that I've been doing is, so I have a basket of all my samples, and I still have about 10 left for this month. So anytime I know I'm going to go run errands or go places, things like that, I grab samples, I put in my purse. Now I do a lot of laundry samples because it's so hot here. But for me, getting back in the habit is, okay, I'm making the samples, I'm putting them in a visible spot. And when I know I'm running errands, I put them in my purse. I mean, I even, like last week, the lady that does our school car tag, in our school, we pull up in line and she's walkie-talking them over the thing. I'm like, hey, I got a sample for you. Oh my gosh, it's laundry. So I'm having this conversation with the school tag lady, but it's just things like that. It's looking for opportunities. And I wouldn't have told her about Scentsy. And guess what? She doesn't know anyone that sells anymore. So that's a new customer. But just because I started doing those 50 samples every month, I am consciously looking for situations I can bless other people with a sample, and I can put my name out there and get their information. Another fun story. The day after that, I was like, man, this is great. I'm going to hand out a sample to everyone, every teacher that's by my kid whenever my kid gets in the car. Every teacher that's by my car when my kid gets in my car. You guys know what I mean? So Jackson got in the car and there's this lady right there. And I was like, hey, I got a gift for you. And she's like, what? So I have a gift for you. So I handed her a laundry sample. She was like, oh my gosh. She was like, you know what? I went to your Scentsy party like 5 or 6 years ago. She was like, I don't have your information anymore though. And I said, oh my gosh, it's right there. My information's on the thing. She's like, I went to Dia's Scentsy party. And I was like, well, remind me your name. And she's like, Megan, so-and-so. I was like, I know your name and you looked familiar. I thought you looked familiar last week. She's like, girl, I need to place an order. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'll be your person. And I said, do you want me to bring you like a basket party like tomorrow? And she's like, yeah. She's like, I'm afraid it might melt. She's like, maybe I can just text you and you can bring it up to the school or bring it to my house. I said, perfect. So again, you guys, 4 months ago, 3.5, 4 months ago, I consciously said, I'm going to start having the conversations because I know that's where my business started. It did not start posting on Facebook. We didn't even have Facebook when I started Scentsy. We had MySpace. All right. We had MySpace, and my mom, I don't think even allowed me to have an account. So I didn't have Facebook till a couple years in. So my business started by in person, handing out samples, things like that. And I do have a success source. That lady that went to my Scentsy party, she ordered $150 on the flash sale. I didn't add that in there. So because I handed out that one sample to a lady that, I mean, I feel bad she didn't have my information and she went to my Scentsy parties, but whatever, she has it now. And so just things like that, you guys, it's getting back into the groove. If you got to go to the bank, go inside, hand out samples. If you got to go to your kid's school, maybe you don't have to go to your kid's school, but make an excuse if you've already started school, Becky, and some of them haven't yet. She's going to do the cheerleading jumps when they start because she's going to go to work more. Danielle, did you start a school? Yes, no? Yes. Okay. So make an excuse to go to your kid's school, right? You forgot their lunch, whatever it is. If that's what you need because you're an introvert and you're afraid just to go up there and bring all the secretary scent circles, or bring them all laundry samples or wax samples or whatever it may be. Get catalogs and hand out showcase brochures or catalogs. I guarantee you, if you hit up the school secretaries, you're going to have people that want to order. And if they say it all, oh my gosh. So this is what I usually say. I have a gift for you. They're like, whoa. I whip out a laundry sample. If they get excited at all, then I say, girl, do you already have a consultant? Well, no, I need one. All right. Fill this information out. I'm going to add you to my newsletter because all the discounts get emailed out once a month. You're going to want to be part of that newsletter. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. And I do a door prize drawing every month. Cool. So you don't have a consultant. Do you want a catalog? Well, yeah. Okay. And of course, because I have my samples on me, I have a whole pile of showcase brochures. I give those out because they're cheaper. I don't hand out big old catalogs left and right, just because since I'm handing out more samples, more people are either wanting a catalog. And for me, it's just cheaper to do the showcase brochures. You can also do the product list, but my only thing with product list is it's just not very appealing. Like the pictures aren't as great as even the showcase brochure. I feel like the showcase brochure kind of sucks people in. So anyways, yes. Yes. And so so if they get excited at all with the gift that I give them, I, number one, try to get their information. And number two, give them a showcase brochure. If they're local to me, like the secretaries, and they get all excited, I'll even say, hey, did you know that the new fall winter scents just released? No. Well, do you want to smell them? I'll drop a basket off up here. I don't call it a party. I don't ask them if they want to have a party. I don't do any of that because I know they work with a bunch of people up front. So if I bring one sample sense up there, it's going to turn into a party, you guys. Just like at the bank. Whenever I brought stuff at the bank, and they got all excited and I was like, oh my gosh, would you guys like to smell the new scents? "Ah, you have the new scents." Yes. So I dropped it off. I turned it into a basket party. I never called it a party. I never asked if they want to host a party. I never did any of that. I simply just asked if they wanted to smell the new scents. And that's kind of my go-to line. It'll be my line for this month and next month. When people get excited at all, I just say, would you like to smell the new scents? I can drop it off at your work. So I have another lady that she orders, she's not a real estate agent, her husband is, but she works at a brokerage company and she orders quite a bit every couple months. So every time that we have a big sale, like the sale we have that's still going on your websites, by the way, all the wall fans and all that are on sale while supplies last. So keep directing people to the clearance section of your website. But she's someone that I have a VIP list that I text anytime there's a big sale. Well, I specifically texted her and I said, hey, since he's having a huge flash sale, I know you can stock up on some realtor brokerage gifts. But also, did you want me to swing by and drop off the new scents so you can smell them? And she said, absolutely. So I actually forgot about her. And she texted me today and said, when are you going to drop them off? I didn't call it a party. I just asked if she wanted to smell the new scents. When I drop it off at her brokerage tomorrow, she will have 4 or 5, 6 people order. So it's just getting creative, you guys, hands on. Don't just message people on Facebook. That's not working your business. That was working your business during the pandemic. It's not working your business anymore, right? Now you have to get out there. If they smell it, it sells. And right now, with our economy and with the way things are, sometimes emotions are brought out with scents, and that's why you have to get the scents underneath their nose. I could go on and on. I was sharing with Kara or Becky or someone last week. I have a lady that makes homemade salsa and it's incredible. Incredible. Her daughters used to babysit my kids. They did a fundraiser way back in the day, like for her soccer team. That's kind of the backstory. Anyway, so she came to drop off the salsa. So we started chatting and I said, how's your kid's soccer? And she's like, oh, it's great. It's just, they're both on like travel teams and it's just expensive. And then I'm like, ding, ding, ding. Cause she used to sell a long time ago underneath me and doesn't anymore. And I said, girl, let's do a fundraiser. And I said, I can do it just for you. I can do it for a couple of moms. I can do it for the whole team. And she said, well, I know some of the other moms would want to too. And I said, well, any of them that you get, I will put you down as the host because you're my contact. So you're the one that I'm going to deliver all the stuff to. You have to give it to the mom. So it's a little bit of work, but not much. You be my contact and I'll give you all the host rewards after prizes. And she was like, done. And I said, okay, we'll start messaging the moms. And I said, when do you want to start? She said, well, let's do it in October just because I think that'll be great right before Christmas. And I said, okay. So I put in my phone under a reminder on the calendar, message Amy mid-September, have all the fundraiser stuff ready. So just within, she brought salsa over. We started talking sports. I got a fundraiser. And you guys, it's not because I'm magical. I don't have any magical powers. I wish I did. It's just that my radar right now is earning this trip. And so I'm wanting to find opportunities to get sales, to get recruits, to get fundraisers. And I can tell you right now, if I worked my business right now, being intentional, yes. If I worked my business the way I did the last 2 years, I would not be getting anything right now. And here's why. First off, Facebook kind of sucks sometimes. The algorithm sucks. Half the time people don't even see your stuff. Half the time people unfollowed left and right because of all the political BS that's on Facebook. People just don't see your stuff all the time on Facebook. All right. It's just a fact. So now with the way things are in the economy and just in general, people are busy. People aren't confined to their homes. Like I remember after McKinley was born, picking up groceries and barely going out for months. And it was pretty horrendous. It was pretty awful. But the only thing I had to do was to surf the web to connect to other people outside my family. Right now, it's not like that anymore, you guys. You can't solely work your business online. It's just not going to sustain. So I don't know who needs to hear that tonight, but if you work your business like you did the last 2 years now, it won't sustain long term. We are a party plan, a relationship based business. We are in the smelling industry. That sounds funny. I say it odd. We're in the smelling industry. So people want to smell sells. So your goal for the next couple weeks should be to get those testers in underneath the noses of so many people. Obviously wipe in between, but get your smell goods underneath as many people's noses as you can. One thing that you can do tonight and go through your list of customers, go through your order history and just say, hey, would you like to smell the new fall winter scents that just launched? And if they say, well, yeah, you can say there's some good ones and blah, blah, blah. If they say, yes, say, awesome. Let me know and I'll drop it by your work tomorrow. And then you can literally let me show you what I put mine in. I just got a couple more, you guys, because I'm working my business and I'm getting those basket parties. I just got this one. You can get them from, this one is called Storage Craft Organizer. They have them on Amazon. This one's sell for 20. But I love them. They're awesome. I think you could type on Amazon Craft Organizer and these will pull
And a
out.
Hobby Lobby label.
Did I get this from Hobby Lobby? I kind of feel like I ordered this one. I'll show you which one I got from, no, maybe this one. Okay, this one is the Amazon. No, that's Hobby Lobby. This is Amazon. This is my Amazon one. And I want to say this one, it was also called storage containers. Yeah, that's right. So if you type in craft storage containers, then these will pop up. So those, make them your employees, and you can literally get one, like use your transition set. If you don't have a lot of money right now because money's tight, get a couple of transition sets and just make the new scents your basket parties. You don't have to have all 80 cents. And if I'm being honest, people get overwhelmed after they smell 10. Oh yes, what is that loveliness?
This is just a pencil case.
Ah.
And I like it because it's clear and you can see the scents that are in it. So if they have a specific, I have 2 of them. They have a specific one.
How many fit?
30. So
You got Dollar Tree or where'd you get that at?
Target, but my Target doesn't have them anymore. So I don't know, but it's just like a clear.
Is it hard on the outside?
Yeah, like it's bendable. It's plastic, but it's a hard surface.
Someone said, oh, you put that. I was like, oh, someone said they saw some, but that was you in the chat. Dang it. I'm gonna have to look for those. That's a really brilliant idea. And I'm sure Dollar Trees and something like that have the pencil. You could almost even just use, like, my son has those pencil holders that have clear on the outside as just separators too. But that's genius. And honestly, like I said, you don't need 4 sets of basket parties of scents, complete sets to do a basket party. Just, yeah, literally put 20 cents in a bag, mix it up, make some cinnamon fruity, this and that. And you have a basket party. So like I said, the least you can use party, the better. But if you really want to get a bunch of parties at once, just start messaging people. Hey, I know you ordered last month. I don't know if you know, the new scents just launched, but if you want to smell 'em, let me know. I'll drop them off at your house. And then go to Danielle's house, like, girl, these scents are amazing. Smell them. Hey, by the way, didn't you say that your family orders Scentsy? I never said that. Oh, I think you did. Your family needs to order, right? Why don't you keep this for 4 days? I'm going to come back and get it on Friday and see if you can get some orders. If you get 3 or 4 friends to order, or just take it to work, then you get a bunch of host rewards. Okay, I'm going to come out and get it Friday. So you have 4 days to get orders. So, just be really like Leslie said, or Daryl, I don't know which one's typing. Be intentional about your business, and it will be the people. It will be those of you that are intentional the next couple weeks that are really going, the next couple months, that are going to reap the benefits of fall. I promise you. Work your business, and that'll be you. Don't work your business, or just work behind the computer, and you will only reap so much. Trust me. I mean, it is like night and day how much more business and new customers I've gained since actually being physical and handing out stuff and things like that versus working behind the computer. It's such a big difference. So fundraisers, if you see people on Facebook talking about their travel ball team or volleyball or soccer or this or that or band or whatever, personally message those people and say, listen, I know that you said you have 4 kids in band, and I'm sure it's expensive. Would you want to do like an individual fundraiser just for your family? I can set up a link. I can get you a packet or a catalog and some smell goods, and we can keep it open for a week or two. And any orders you collect, I'll give 20% or whatever you decide to give. Um, I mean, you can do that for an individual. You can do that for a group of people. Let me show you just real quick too. And then definitely, I know you guys have seen these before, but this is this isn't the current one. I grabbed this from all my fundraiser packets. This is from the wrestling one I did. Yeah, the wrestling one I did. So showcase brochure. This is the old one. I use these. I don't use full catalogs in fundraisers. They don't have the combine and save, and that's for a reason. So the fundraiser gets the most bang for their buck. And now, obviously, if they know the combine and saves, I honor all of them. But that's why I tell them they're not in here, because so the fundraiser gets the most bang for their buck. And then I always do prizes with my fundraisers. Always, 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 always do prizes. I don't do top 3 or top 4 or top 5 because it doesn't work. People don't know what they're competing with. So I don't think that drives people typically. So I do, you sell 200 and you earn this, you sell 300, you earn this, you sell 400 and you earn this. And it's pretty much like they're owning their own host rewards. But the cool thing is when I get all the orders in, if Danielle ordered 3 bars and Becky ordered 3 bars, I'm putting that bad boy in as a 6-pack. So I get one of those bars for free. So that's $6 or $6.50 or $7. I can't remember what Canada PRV. We'll go with PRV. If it's 6 PRV, then that's 6 PRV I get towards my prizes. So typically, if I get like 2 people that order a $30 warmer and then 6 bars from someone else's order, I'll combine it to a perfect Scentsy. And if I just save $20, well, that paid for a nightlight from one of my prizes. So I don't ever use my host rewards for prizes. I typically can combine and get those. And that way, whoever got me the fundraiser gets spoiled like crazy. And then I do keep some for myself. If I spent $100 in supplies, I typically keep $100 of the host rewards, if there's that, after I get to spoil them, in product. And that's just kind of my rule of thumb. I don't mind donating all my commission, which I do. I donate 30% if they sell over 2,000, 25% if they sell under. I donate every penny of my commission, but I do keep some of the host rewards just for time and all that. And that's just something I do. You can do yours however you want. All of ours typically have tax. So I have a tax cheat sheet. And it just says like $35 warmer times my tax is $38.45. that kind of thing. Kind of just a cheat sheet form. This is something that is so important, whether you do a fundraiser for 3 girls going to cheer camp or a group of 30. This just gets everyone on the same page, and it just has fundraiser information, start date, end date, how to collect money, how to do checks, that everything's online. So it says when to expect product, because people always ask that, and it says on here, all advise customers they will arrive 2 to 3 weeks from the fundraising end date. Well, the end date is 6/2, so 3 weeks after that. Excuse me. Any orders placed online will ship within 3 to 5 days of being ordered. It also says if you have family members that live out of state, they can go to this link and they can order directly from your fundraiser. So it kind of has, thank you. Yes, I will share. I'm going to send all this. Becky, I'm going to send that all to you, and then you get it to everyone. Because I think, do you guys have a Facebook page for this or no? No? Oh, okay. Well, I can send to Becky, Danielle, and Leslie, and then y'all can share with your teams. But yeah, so this is so important, whether you do it with 3 people, and I just think it looks professional. So like like the soccer fundraiser, even if I just did it for 2 of the parents, I would still put together a full packet because I think it just looks more professional. And then I typically don't give any sample scents out when I'm doing fundraisers. I just don't, because they get destroyed or messed up, and they don't need it for a fundraiser. Now, if it's just for one person, I did a fundraiser for a girl that was in pageants. Yes, they look very professional. A girl that does pageants. And so she wanted a basket party, and I gave her a packet because I think going door to door with this looks better than just an order form. So I made a packet for her, and her mom wanted the testers, and I trusted her. And I said, listen, this is $50 worth of testers. Don't lose them. She said, I won't. And she ended up selling like $1,400, you guys. This was last year. I probably need to reach out to her and see if she's doing another pageant she needs fundraising for. So on the outside of this packet, I always fill out the top. I always highlight where they need to put their name because half the time they forget. And then all of hers were online, which was great. But let me show you a different packet. Let me grab, let's see. Let me grab a good one. Okay, so I'll show you this one. So this was for a wrestling fundraiser too. So on here, I highlight where the name goes, all checks. I always have to write on the outside what payments, because when I'm going through to put their credit cards in, I like to look at the outside of the folder. If you have like 15 of these, oh, they're all checks. I have no credit cards. Put this aside. Okay, this has 2 CCs, 2 credit cards. So it keeps me kind of in line. But see where I put like the 329 PRV? So that's what the PRV was for all of this. Okay. So once I combine, and I usually put everything underneath David Thrift underneath their name. So I have in my cart, David Thrift, right? And then I combine and save all the orders within David Thrift's name. I try to keep it per packet just because I know I get everything in. So after I combine and save, put all the stuff in bundles. If that PRV says 250 on it, I make sure I get back up to 329. So I order a product for myself. I order prizes. This person, their prize, they wrote at the bottom, they won the Ollie bucket warmer. So what I did there is I ordered their prizes. See, I have check marks next to it because I ordered them. So I ordered that to help me get to that goal PRV. So those are just kind of tricks and trades that I've learned along the way. And I always make sure the fundraiser gets to the PRV it needs to. But combining helps me get all the prizes and stuff for free to hand out to people. And like I said, to spoil like heck all the people that helped put this on, the coaches' wives, that kind of thing. So those are just some tricks there. What else? I'll send you all that information. I typically end a fundraiser at the end of the month. That way I can write them a check in, 10, 11 days. So if Becky came to me and said, so the fundraiser, for instance, that we're going to do for the soccer girls, she said October. So I'll probably start it around the first week of October and just make sure I get everything by the 3rd week. And that way it gives me a few extra days if people are stragglers. But I will have it all inputted by the end of the month in October, so I can cut them a check pretty quickly after I collect the packets. I never end a fundraiser unless there's just no other choice. I never end it the first of the month. because then they have to wait a whole month of giving me everything to see any money. So that's just something that I've always done. But so a couple other tips I want to share with you on fundraisers. If you're like, man, I just don't even know where to start. First off, go on Facebook or social media, or personally text people and say, hey, I'm looking to help a few organizations this fall. Do you know of any individuals or teams that are needing help raising funds? Or, hey, I'm looking to donate some commission to a few organizations needing funds. Do you know of any sports teams or bands or anything like that that are needing funds? You can ask on Facebook as well. One of them I did for a kid who he's a wrestler, and I saw her mom posting that he was going to Florida for wrestling. And so I messaged Tiffany. I said, hey, do you guys need any extra fundraising? She said, oh my gosh, yes. What can we do, Cincy? I said, yes, girl, we can do it just for Coop. We'll do a Coop fundraiser. So, I mean, that just me scrolling through, I'm always thinking, right? I could have scrolled past Cooper stuff. Oh man, that's cool. He gets to go to Destin for wrestling. That's cool. Right. But I was like, oh, fundraiser opportunity. So as you see people, hey, we're taking my kids to Disney over spring break. Oh my gosh, message them now. Would you like to do a couple fundraisers between now and spring break to help pay for a Disney trip? So always be thinking fundraising. Those are going to lead to customers you didn't have before. It's going to lead to new contacts, that kind of thing. So when I messaged Tiffany about Cooper, we set up a link. I gave her a packet. Like I said, you can order these envelopes from Cincy. You can order all of this stuff from Cincy. But I gave her a packet, and she actually had all online orders, which made it really simple for me. But I also said, hey, Tiffany, let me give you a bath soak. After your boys come home from wrestling practice, I want you to give them a bath in the bath soak. And then I want you to go live and share their experience with their link, because they're the cutest boys. I know they're going to sell a ton. I said, I'll give you this free bag of bath soak if you'll do that. And she said, oh, girl, yes, my kids are so smelly. She's got 3 boys. They're all wrestlers, football players, baseball players. She said, absolutely. Girls, it was guys, it was the cutest thing ever. So Cooper and Cohen and Coulter, yeah, that gets confusing when you're yelling at your kids. Cooper, Coulter, Colton, Cohen. But they went live with their link. You know how many bath soaks they sold? I want to say they had 25, 24 bath soaks. That's somewhere right. Their grandma ordered like 5 herself, but they sold over 20 bath soaks that evening, because her 3 boys, that was their promise. Your 3 boys have to do it. You can help them, but they have to go live and talk about how amazing they smell. And they're like over there, like no shirts. Mom, I smell way better than I did at the wrestling room. And it was just so funny, but they sold, and it was creative. And so it got me thinking, you guys, how many friends do you have that are great customers, that have the cutest kids, that maybe are in sports? Stock up on some bath soaks. Have your friends do reviews. Say, I'm looking for 5 people to review my product. You can put that on Facebook. I'm looking for 5 people to review my product. See if you can get a couple people to reach out. If you do, say, okay, here's the stakes. I'm going to give you a bath soak. You got to come pick it up or ship it, whatever you want to do. But I'm going to give you bath soak. You have to use it with your kids. And then you have to go, or use it yourself, and you have to go live with this personal shopping link. You have to tell your friends about it. Are you game? If so, you can have a free bag. It's 2 pounds of amazingness. So look for 5 people, you guys. You might have given away a $12 bag of bath soap that you probably got on clearance, because we've had a lot on clearance lately. So if you got a bag for $8, you have to pay $5 to ship it to someone, you're still making money. But you just got 5 parties by asking people to review your product. So if you get desperate and you have no parties booked, just reach out to your best friends. I'm sure you have at least 4 or 5 people that would say, sure, I'll do it for you. Right. Or, like I said, if they have a really cute kid, and they don't have to be cute. I don't even care. And that sounds horrible. I'm just saying, if they have a funny kid or someone with a personality at all, or their kid that's always doing crazy stuff, those will be the funniest videos. So either have them review it or their kid review it, things like that. If your kid is on any type of sports team, golf team, ugly kids allowed to. No such thing. I'm not biased towards like uncute kids, but you know what I mean. Funny kid, kid, whatever. But if your kid's on the golf team and you go to practice or whatever, and you see some of the moms, say, hey, I'm in Cincy. I'm giving away 5 bags of bath soap. They're 2-pound bath soaks. Would you like a bag? The only thing you have to do is have your kid use it or you use it and go live and share your experience and then get a link. So, like I said, get creative. There's different ways you can get fundraisers, but you have to be on the lookout. You have to constantly have it on your mind. And one of the things you can do to constantly have Cincy on your mind is back to basics and back to samples, handing out samples, handing out recruiting packets, having the conversations. I promise you, if you make your 50 samples, have a sample party with your downline too, or your upline, but have your samples made, take them with your showcase, product list, catalogs, whatever you have in stock. You start handing them out. You are going to find 10 times the opportunity to get new customers than if you had none of that on your hand. Because I promise you, you're going to be so in tune to, I got to get these samples out, that you're going to have these situations happen that probably happened before, but you just weren't made aware of them. For instance, I was getting a pedicure a couple weeks ago and I had my samples on me, right? Because I know I'm going to be around a bunch of people. And this lady started talking about, they just got back from Florida or from California. I can't remember. They just got back from the beach. Anyways, and she was saying something about, she's having to do all of her laundry and she hates doing laundry. And like, she feels like she needs a vacation from her vacation. I'm just listening. And she said something about, I don't know, something about smells or something. And I told her, I said, man, I need to hook you up with our Cincy laundry stuff. It is incredible. And it actually makes doing laundry a little bit more pleasant. And she was like, oh, Cincy has laundry? I was like, yes. I said, hold on, I have a catalog. Hey, here's a laundry sample too. Try that. Let me know what you think. She's like, oh, you have a sample in your purse? I said, yeah, I mean, I always just carry them. And then another lady's like, oh, you have a sample? And I was like, actually, I do. Here's a sample. So we're sitting there all getting pedicures. Like, oh, did you see this warmer? And it just turns into like this, almost you felt like you were with your friends getting a pedicure. And no sales have come from that yet, but I did get both of their information and I added it to my newsletter. So you never know. But I could have been getting a pedicure and just been in my own world. And 5 months ago, I would have done that. I probably wouldn't have brought it up because I didn't always have Cincy on me because I wasn't used to the habit of not being Cincy naked. That's what I call it, Cincy naked. And so 4 or 5 months ago, I probably wouldn't have inserted Cincy into too many conversations, or I wouldn't have been listening for those opportunities because I didn't have stuff on hand. And I promise you, if you're not prepared, you won't have the conversations. If you're not prepared, you won't get the new customers. If you're not prepared, you're going to miss out on all those clues where you could have gotten the party or the customer or the consultant. But if you are prepared and you have stuff in your purse or your bag or your car, and you know that's your goal every month, I'm going to treat this like a business so I can make a business paycheck. If you start doing that, guys, you're going to reap the benefits. I promise you. I don't want to get all churchy, but it's kind of like whenever they say to do the tithe challenge at church, do the 3-month tithe challenge and see, what comes your way. And it's kind of like when you give back, it comes back in, copious amounts. Copious is a bad word. That usually we talk about mucus when we talk about copious at the hospital, but usually it comes back tenfold is my point. And so when you start giving, things come back, right? So I encourage you to do like the 3-month Cincy challenge, Cincy sample challenge for 3 months. Be faithful about handing out samples, handing out catalogs, handing out information. I promise you it's going to work. You're going to get parties. You're going to get new customers. You're going to get recruits because there's not many people doing any of that right now. If I'm telling you as a superstar director that's been in for 15 years, that I didn't do that for 2.5 years and I had to consciously start making myself again. If I'm not doing that, you guys, I promise you 90% of people in Cincy are not doing that right now. They haven't seen the importance of it. So you be the 10% that says, I'm going to start working my business. I'm going to start putting myself out there. I'm going to get the fundraisers. I'm going to message the sports team's mom. I'm going to get 5 friends to review the bath soap or the laundry washer whips. That's another great one too. I'm going to get 5 people to review it. I'm going to be that person. I'm going to hand out samples. I'm going to do XYZ. Next time I go to practice, I'm going to take all the moms' little lotion samples and say, hey, try this out. If you like it, let me know. Be that person, you guys. I promise you, there's not many people doing that right now. And I kind of feel like, forget in case that wasn't clear. I kind of feel like it's going to be the very few people who work it that are really going to have a great fall. Because the fall is not going to be great for everyone, because in reality, a lot of people are stuck with what they've done the last 2.5 years. And they're not going to do the things to change that. They're not. And some of you might be thinking, I don't know if I want to. I've never done that. I feel like I'm having to relaunch. I've never had to hand out samples. I've never made samples before. I've never had those conversations. I've never even done a basket party, because when I joined, I just did everything online. You may have to retrain your complete train of thought, but that's okay. If you're willing to do that and willing to put in the work, reach out to, Danielle or Becky or Leslie or Daryl and say, hey, I realize that I can't work my business the way I did the last 2.5 years. I need ideas. I need help. I need verbiage. I'm going to go hand out my first sample. Can you please talk me off the ledge? My armpits are sweating. My face is sweating. My butt crack is sweating. I'm just kidding. We just left football practice and there was a lot of sweaty butt cracks. But whatever it is, call your upline, say, I need help. I need you to talk me off the ledge. And they'll do that. You can call me, you can text me. But it's up for grabs right now. It really is. And success is up for grabs right now. And just in the little time that I've been truly out there working my business, I have seen how up for grabs it is. And it is very astonishing. In 15 years, I've never handed out samples and gotten so much reaction that I don't have a consultant or I don't know anyone that sells. I mean, it is unbelievable how many people right now are not working it. And so I hope after tonight, you realize the importance of that. And I realize I probably didn't talk about anything Becky wanted me to talk about or asked me to, but we just chit chatted. But what questions do you guys have? Do you guys have questions, or does Danielle or Leslie or Becky want to add anything? Or sorry, we talked about butt cracks and samples and copious amounts of stuff.
I did have a question.
About the copious or butt cracks?
Not about that. No.
We call it swamp butt.
Yeah, swamp butt. There you go.
No, when you were talking about the soak, do you, so when you approach them, say, I'm giving, would you want a, free bag of soak? This is what you got to do. So do you just give them enough for them to, you send them the whole bag right from the get? So what if they don't
do it?
What if you do that and they're just like, I just got a free bag of Scentsy soap?
I mean, I haven't had that happen yet. I've done it to 4 people, but they're all people I know really well. And I just said, you have to agree to go live and I'll give you a personal shopping link. So I haven't had that. Now, if you're going to do that with random people or customers you don't know as well, what I would do is get a cute mason jar and I would put, fill it up so they have enough for 2 or 3 baths, and put a cute ribbon around it and say, hey, I've got, an awesome gift for you. If you take this, use it, go live, you'll get your, that kind of thing. Then I'll give you a free bath soak. So you can always do it that way if you don't know them really well. The ones like my neighbor did it. She's up the street. I can harass her, knock on her door till she goes live, but she did it. But if you don't know them very well, or if you don't want to give away a full bag because, money's tight. You don't want to give away a full bag, especially if you don't truly know them or trust them. You can, like I said, cute mason jar. And you could even post on Facebook, because you can post samples on Facebook. You can make some mason jars and say, who wants to review, or I need 5, what would you call it?
Product testers.
Yes. 5 product testers. Let me know if you want to try our Scentsy bath soak.
Do you only make them go live once?
Yes. So they only had to go live once. And it was after they used the product, and they had their own personal shopping link they had to share in the live, like on the link. And then the ones that I've, like my neighbor that did it, Tiffany that did it, Tristan that did it. Who was my other one that did it? going well. The ones that they did at Tiffany's, the ones with their 3 boys, she sold by far the most. And she did a fundraiser, so she was pushing for it, I think, a little bit harder. Tristan's did really well. I think she sold like 5 or 6 bags of soap, which I think is great for a live because they were all new customers. But so they just had to go live once. One person asked me if they could do a story on it. And I said I'd prefer a live. So they ended up doing a live. But honestly, nowadays, I kind of watch more stories than I do Facebook Lives anyways. So I think right now I'd be more open to them either doing a story of it or doing live because they can upload a video and they may be more comfortable with redoing it a few times. So I think if I were to do it again, which I probably should do another round of it again, is let them do a story or go live on Facebook.
Tag you.
Tag me, but they have to share their link on Facebook.
Yeah.
You know, but that's a great, Daryl, that's a great, if you don't fully know them or they're not a neighbor, you can go harass them. Then I think a mason jar would be great. And then tell them after they do their live and share their personal shopping link, then you'll bring them a bag or something, a full bag. Because honestly, yes.
Sorry. Leellen asked a question, and I think this might work for you, Leellen, something like this.
Mhm.
You could put
Yeah.
it in a mailer or something.
Yeah. And you could probably find something that's not glass to ship, you know, a couple scoops too.
And maybe, you know, if you don't want it this big, this is 5 by 7. We got it from Amazon, but you can also, we have these smaller ones that are like a 3 by 4
Mhm.
that you can do.
That's plenty for a foot soak or something.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, honestly, you could ship if you ask, I need, and you could send out a mass text to your customers and say, you know, I don't know if any of you guys have tried the new bath soak, but I'm looking for at least 5 people to try it for free. And all you have to do is review my product. So
And that's compliant to put on Facebook.
absolutely. You cannot, because you
Like, I
can put,
can't-
like, do it.
I probably can't say like giving away a bag of Scentsy soak,
No, you have to word it. Yes.
but you
So
have to word it such as
look at it for product
product
testers.
testers.
Mhm. Let me know if you're interested in trying the Scentsy bath soak. I'm
I
looking
saw
for 5.
someone post the idea of using our travel twists as product testers since it's a new product.
Mhm.
And I know I fell a party that I just closed a couple weeks ago. It's in a box behind me. I need to put it together, but it's like I have 3 of them at least that I used and I got with party rewards to go and ask people.
Yeah. And
like
be
that.
creative.
I
Do
was
it.
just gonna say, I think that's gonna be a really good idea to try and get a fundraiser on travel twist.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
Especially because you can put them in sports bags or
Uh-huh.
I saw some the other day and I just got mine in. So I was just using it. I actually took photos that I was going to market them because I put it in my car and I hadn't tried it yet since I was in SFR and I really, really like it. So I took all these like, you know, all these photos and then I put one where it's like stuck to inside of your trash can and diaper pail. So you get the double-sided tape. And so someone, might have been one of y'all, someone posted that on Facebook. I'm like, that is genius for the trash can and the diaper pail. And so I plan on doing a whole thing on the travel twist and putting a link down there for them to check it out themselves. Just because I think that I think it's so genius. Though I need to put it in my son's baseball bag too and take a picture of that just because I think it gives people creative ideas on how to use the travel twist. But that's a great idea, Danielle, about the fundraising.
My little girl had surgery yesterday and we have to wear masks in the hospitals. And I had one shoved in my purse and my travel twist happened to be like inside of the mask. It smelled so good all morning. I was like, this is the best idea ever. It was great.
Scented mask by Becky.
Scent pack in their mask bin.
Yeah.
Like when they had to wear them every day for school, they would put a Just Breathe in there and they loved it.
Yeah. Leellen, I put Clean Breeze in my car and it's very strong. I haven't tried the cinnamon one, but the Clean Breeze, like we got in our car tonight for football and I was like, man, I can still smell that.
Yeah, the
but
Luna one is good too.
The Luna one, and I don't know too, I think heat has something to do with it, but it's so hot here. I think that may make it smell even more so. I'm not for sure, but
It's the one we have in there now. Close
Clean
it.
Breeze.
Cozy cardigan.
So we
Oh,
have
yeah.
cozy cardigan in
Yeah.
our car right now. For me, it's not strong enough.
Yeah.
It smells so good though.
It
It's
does smell really good.
It smells better than the fragrance flower.
You know what? I'm wondering what we could do too. So, obviously there's a couple scents I love. I love Luna. I love Clean Breeze, but I have the room sprays in them. I thought about after a couple weeks spraying those little things that are inside the travel twist and just like they shut and then reopening to see. So I was like, man, that could be an upsell. Buy the travel twist and buy the complimentary scent. I mean, obviously I want to sell more travel twists, so I don't want them to just keep doing that. But I could say for, 2-time use, you could spray it twice before you have to throw it out or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
That's a good
cat
idea.
litter box. Yes. Yes.
So I know I mentioned it to you, Jacqueline, when we were talking, but I don't think I've told anybody else that I posted it in the group, both groups actually. But that girl who saw my car and messaged me right away, I went to see her the next day and I dropped off a catalog at her apartment. And she said, I've been asking my friends for weeks. Nobody knows a Scentsy consultant anymore. They've all quit. And then I got home from the lake that night and I saw you drive by in front of me and I thought, there's my sign. But she's definitely one I have to follow up on she wants to borrow my tester bag. So I'm just going to conveniently leave it with her for a week.
Yeah.
And she's definitely a prospective teamie as well, because none of her friends know somebody. So
that's what we were chatting. I was like, girl, that's one of the best things, the best recruiting line I get is when people tell me, oh my gosh, I don't know anyone that sells anymore.
Yeah.
Well, you could join and be that person, and so hopefully you'll have to follow up and let us know how it goes when you have that conversation with her.
Yeah, I actually just thought of her today, so I should send her a text again.
Yeah. Send a text, say, hey, I was just thinking about you since none of your friends sell. If you ever want to join, then with this, I could probably get you a discounted kit and just fish for that and see if she's like, oh, you could get me a discounted kit. Well, tell me more, rope her in.
And with the product testers, I think it was Becky that sent me an idea or video. We were talking about like testing stuff. I went to the dollar store and I got cute little canvas bags and I cut some vinyl out of them for them and I ironed it on. Said Scentsy product testers and I filled them with samples. You know where they are? In my closet downstairs.
Kara.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go get them out and refresh the samples.
You can do it. Hey, you know what? One of the biggest things, someone the other day was like, man, like, so you're not always on your game all the time. No, I could tell you all the times where I have like either talked about Scentsy and I was Scentsy naked, or I had instances where I was like, damn it, if I would have had Scentsy on me, I probably could have recruited her. Or I'm looking through my purse and I find the one business card I have left in there and it's got food crumbs on it because we had animal crackers in my purse, or, so it's okay to do crap like that. It happens. I think the biggest thing though is knowing that when you treat it like a business, you reap the benefits like a business. So if it's a side gig or a side hobby and you don't always have Scentsy on you, you're not structured in what you do every month as far as samples, this and this and this, then you're going to make the hobby paychecks, which some of you might be okay making. But when it becomes a business and it's more structured, you're still going to have those moments where you're looking for a business card and there's animal crackers on it. But 9 times out of 10, you'll have business cards and you'll have samples and you'll have catalogs and you'll have this and that. But you are allowed to give yourself grace and screw up some. Trust me.
Well, even my last teamie, she went on the workstation right away and she was watching all the training videos. And then she asked to go for coffee. So I met her and she's like, okay, so I don't want to do parties. That's not why I joined. I'm like, no, I know that's not why you joined. Why do you think you have to do parties? All these training videos are telling me to do parties and follow-ups and everything. I'm like, oh God, no, I don't do that.
Yeah,
she got really scared. She thought she got into something she really didn't want to do. And I'm like, no, just do however you want to do it.
Yeah, that's the beauty of it. You can, if home parties scare you, you can do bad parties the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
I mean,
she just joined for the discounts right now. So I'm like,
or that.
Sell to your mom and yourself. You'll be fine.
Yeah. I love it. Man, Chris has got quite the setup behind her. You look so organized. Is it just in the picture or are you just organized?
How inappropriate would it be for me to say I'm really anal about like,
Can you come to my office?
I'm really bad.
It looks so good.
I agree.
Okay, so I'm getting ready for an event, so I do have stuff out, but I have these drawers down at the bottom too. I don't know if you can see those. Skylar, can you turn on the light in here for me, please? Really quick.
I think this is the third time I've been on a Zoom call with Krista, and this is my third tour of her office.
Oh my gosh. I
Everybody
freaking
always
love this.
Fire it each time too.
There's
Where do you
drawers
live, Krista?
in Nuevo.
He lives in California near me.
So these are all my envelopes for snail mail, sample stuff.
Girl,
That's what all this stuff is down here.
oh my lands. Do you have teenage daughters?
I do. I have 4.
Do they help you?
No, well,
You're a very girl mom. Like I can see you being like, you pray craft and I mean, you're just very together.
can you see all the paintings?
Oh my goodness.
You're good, Jacquelyn.
I mean, like my best friend Jenna, she's so organized. She has got containers everywhere. Like, I'm like, you have to help McKinley with crafts and
Organize
stuff
that one.
because she
My
needs this
girls
in her life.
paint. This is my painter.
Hi.
Do you do paint night?
We have,
'Cause I think I recognize some of those from paint nights that I've done in Canada too.
I love it.
we paint rocks and we hide them in town
Oh,
people
nice.
to find.
That's so cool.
What, Skylar? Oh.